I want to bring it back to some basic business principles. I'm just going to go through a statement quickly. Organizations must develop the capability to continuously monitor its internal and external environments. And normally, companies are focused on the competition, the customers, etc. But important in the statement is that you also have to monitor your internal environment, your people, burnout, etc. Determining internal strengths and weaknesses, generating effective strategies while establishing short to long-term objectives, and adapting strategies to pursue and maintain competitiveness within their chosen market. So to compete, it's a holistic view of the things. You can't just say, listen, I'm making a lot of money, business is successful, but internally you are suffering because a lot of your people are on the brink of burning out and overworked, etc. So it's a fine balance. It's by no means an easy thing. My experience, very difficult to maintain it. But if you put the right strategies in place, you're probably going to make it easier for yourself. So in terms of the external and internal threat, your view on it, are we accurate with the statement? Is it something that one has to look at, both internal, external?
Well, external threats are external threats, and then you just react or predict them or estimate them, and just that's okay. But nothing is worse when you have internal threats, and if you are, getting off from inside, then it's yeah, you can't do much about that. But yeah, in my experience, it was the it's a paradox, because the whole company was built on one thing, the energy and drive of my boss, the owner of the company. But it was at the same time the internal threat, because well, there we come back to the background. So he was also born in the Soviet Union, where nobody owned anything. Everybody was dependent on the state, and no responsibility, no nothing. And suddenly the system changes. And so he had this will to have a better life. And he found a way how to build it, and built an awesome company. So it's almost 30 years old. Turnover is average some 7 million euros. The employees are 150, so it's a nice production plant. It's not a small one, yeah. So, and it's all built on owner's energy. But as the company is the picture of the owner or the leader or the boss, that's where the company reached the limit, because the limit of the owner is the limit of the company. Fortunately and unfortunately, he wasn't, having this classical business education, how to build a company, how to build the structure, how to manage processes and people. So it was his idea, and it's worked perfectly till some point. So when I left the company, it was pretty much clearly visible that he is the inner threat of the company. So as comparison, I can say that you see, if the company is the picture of the owner or the boss, then if it's nice managed and nicely maintained, then it's like a piece of art. It doesn't have it doesn't show the tiniest details of the face, like the portrait, but it shows the main character traits. It shows the idea of who that person is. But in our case, it was like it's a photograph. It doesn't maybe show the character, but it shows all the tiniest traits. So it's still the portrait, just a little bit slight differences. One is piece of art, other one is exact face of reality.
Same picture,
but two different
energies. So if I look at a photograph, then it's got a certain energy. But if I look at a painting, you can see the energy that's gone into it. Somehow it's the same picture, but it's more beautiful.
So without this kind of I don't like to talk bad, because I had awesome opportunities to be there, but nobody's perfect. So I saw that the problems why company was struggling was basically because there is one boss, not the leader, and who has to be on top of everybody, and nobody can be smarter than him, and he can't be smarter than anybody. No, you should be leader and hire smart people who is doing work for you, and create a piece of art. Not create, okay, you can't be specialist in marketing, you can't be specialist in HR, you can't be specialist in logistics, you can't be specialist in everything. You can't. You simply can't. So,
Now, look,
so
I mean,
that was the limit of the company.
Yeah, and please, when we speak about certain experiences, it's not bad experiences. It's those experiences that are actually bringing us to a point to understand whether it's something that you want to continue, or something that resonates with you, or if it's something that doesn't resonate with you. And I think that's the conversation we're having. It's not to, I mean, the company has existed for 30 years plus. So it's got a right to exist, and the guy is putting a lot of energy. The question is whether it's a company that will continue after he's gone, because it's built around his own energy, right? If he's going, then, or if he leaves his business, or let's say he gets ill or something, then the business is not going to thrive because he's not there. So what you're saying is, and I understand what you're saying, you should be building enough substance in there, enough systems, so that it can continue on its own. Because if you leave and it's not sustainably set up, then it's not going to last. It won't last.
Yeah, that's the truth. Is that well, there are some good changes, some new waves there in the company. I'm in contact with some my former colleagues, so it's fine. I hope they will overcome this, and I'm wishing them all the best in these doings. But they are doing good, so all is fine. Could they do better? Absolutely. So, but again, it's, do you want to do better? Maybe you don't want to do better. So, yeah. I'm not judging. I'm just
No, of course.
It's my experience and my observations, and yeah, that's what we are discussing. So I will try not to feel bad about talking bad.
Yeah, no, it's good. And I think one has to go into good and bad to understand what is going on.